Flipping is a real estate investing strategy that involves buying a property and then selling it for a profit within a short period of time. The profit can come from appreciation in the housing market, but it is more common for flippers to improve the property and then try to sell it for a higher price. Sam is a successful house flipper. He carefully chooses a house that he believes is undervalued. He pays $150,000 for the house and then spends $25,000 repairing and updating it, repainting the walls, putting up new siding, and remodeling the kitchen. When Sam puts the house up for sale again, he sells it for $210,000, earning him a $35,000 profit for his efforts. The final sale price, $210,000, minus the initial purchase price, $150,000, plus money for improvements, $25,000. But making a profit through flipping is not always easy. Sam could lose money on his investment if property prices plunge before he can sell the house. He can also lose if he spends too much money renovating the house and can't recoup it all in the final sale. Or if the house fails to sell quickly, Sam will be responsible for paying the mortgage, utilities, and property taxes on the home, and each payment will eat away at his potential profit. Flipping real estate can be a profitable strategy for investors who can handle the high risks for a chance at high returns.
So the rising value of HDB flats has been a boon for homeowners, but a bane for those who are looking to buy one. Is public housing still affordable for Singaporeans? National Development Minister Mabao Tan announced a slew of measures to curb rising prices just over a week ago. He joins us tonight to answer questions on the effectiveness of these measures. And we also have real estate lecturer Nicholas Mark and Sembawang GRC MP Dr. Lim Wee Kiat. Welcome to the show, everyone. Mr. Ma, let's start with you. You announced a slew of measures last week in Parliament. You said you were feeling the heat, or at least others were saying that you were feeling the heat. Do you think what you've said has helped to cool some of that, especially in the sense, in the role of public housing in Singapore?
Well, first of all, before I answer that question specifically, maybe it's useful for me to set our public housing program in context, because our public housing program in Singapore is actually quite unique. I don't think there's any other program anywhere else in the world that's just like us. And so there are three features of our program that makes us unique or special, and if I may be permitted. The first one, of course, is home ownership. Home ownership is a cornerstone of our policy, as you said. But many other public housing programs in other parts of the world are actually for rental. They're not for people to own. And in our case, home ownership means that you actually own your home, you own your assets, and then when you want to right-size your flat, you can sell it, and you can keep the profit.
Monetize it, in other words, yeah.
Yeah, you can actually keep anything that you make. And that's very is one of the most significant differences. Secondly, second feature is what I call maximum coverage. In other words, within the public housing budget that we have, we try to give, extend public housing to as many people as possible. So, for example, many other countries, when they rent, they would be catering for, say, 10 or 20% of the population, the lower income. In our case, it's the opposite. We cater for as much as 85% of the population. That's what I mean by maximum coverage, within the budget, of course. Then the third point, which is related to the first, of course, is the issue of this, that our public housing is also a form of retirement income. It's a way to provide for people's retirement needs. So when you grow old, you can use your public housing, you can monetize it, you can downgrade, you can rent out rooms and so on, and that becomes a very important stream of income for your retirement. Right? So these are the three attributes of our public housing program, which I don't think you can see in any other program in the world.
Well, in a way, it's public housing also allows Singaporeans to earn an income over their lifetime, which is a unique feature of this program. Right. And at the same time, perhaps it's understandable that people, because it's so tied to their long-term wealth, let's say, make a lot of noise when prices go up and down. And currently, the noise seems to be people are asking whether or not it's still affordable. If it's public housing and we have to do all these things, is it just basic public housing? Is it affordable for the average person? Resale price index has shown that in the last 2 years or so, the resale price has gone up 20%. New flat prices also have gone up close to 30%. So, but incomes haven't gone up as fast. Dr. Lim, what are some of the issues you're seeing on the ground, and what are some of the feedback residents giving to you about affordability of public flats?
Actually, for residents on the ground, most of them are happy when their own flat prices go up. In fact, majority of Singaporeans are homeowners rather than home buyers. They're not there looking for a flat. So when prices go up, it actually sort of appreciate the assets of everyone. The problem, of course, come with those who have not bought a flat and have not had a chance to buy a flat yet, or looking for a flat. So when prices come out, of course, they will complain. And it is true that residents are worried that their own children is finding very hard to buy a flat nowadays. Taxi drivers will complain to you, says that previously as a taxi driver, I could have easily buy a 5-room flat. But today, even when their children come out from university with degree itself, it takes a long time for them to get a flat. So they're just wondering whether are the things changing? Is it getting tougher to get a flat now? And they're worried for their children whether can they get a flat in future.
When we are talking about public housing, there are the owners, then there are the buyers. So in terms of owners, obviously, we have to look after the interests. In my job as National Development Minister, I have to look after the interests of everybody. The first-time buyers, the ones who are concerned now about rising prices, as well as the homeowners, the people who are owning a valuable asset. So for the first-time home buyers, I've heard their complaints, their concerns, and that's the reason why we have taken a series of steps recently. For example, for all new projects, we set aside 95% of the flats for the first-time buyers, so that the second-timers don't compete with them. Secondly, we have increased the number of BTOs so that they don't have to wait so long to get a flat. We have also given them additional chances in the ballot and so on. So all these are really to help the first-timers get that first flat, get their foot in the door, as it were, and then become an asset owner, so that they become a home owner. And then I also have to look after the interests of the homeowners, because as Wikiak says, the majority of people are homeowners. So for them, we have to make sure that we don't overbuild, for example, because once you overbuild, you're going to make flat prices in future go down, and that's not what we want. You also look after these. You look after them by making sure that their flat prices go up. We upgrade their flats, and we later on allow them to facilitate them to monetize their flat, cash out from their flats.
I have a viewer email I'd like to share with you all. He says that I find it unbelievable that the HDB can sell the pinnacle flats at between 500 and 600,000. So this is a new flat which is priced more than normal. Can it justify why it costs so much? This is close to mass market property prices. So it is a strange...
But it's location. I'm sure Nicholas will agree with me in terms of property prices. During when I bought my HDB flat in 1992, I have a choice between a 4-room Queenstown or executive flat in Woodlands. The price was exactly the same. But a 4-room Queenstown, then a new flat, it was exactly the same price. But we choose to go to Woodlands. I tell my wife, say that the price difference is enough to probably buy a car and we can still commute. It's all right.
So it's a choice, you think, at the end of the day. Okay, well.
Buying a home is a major purchase, and many people don't have enough cash on hand to pay for it outright. A mortgage is a loan, usually from a bank, that provides a home buyer with the capital required to become a homeowner. In return, the home buyer must pay off the loan with interest. Joe has $25,000 in cash and wants to buy a house that is listed for $200,000. Joe uses $25,000 as a down payment, leaving $175,000 to be paid through a mortgage. He chooses a 25-year mortgage with a fixed interest rate of 6%. This means that Joe must make monthly payments of $1,127.53. After making this payment every month for 25 years, Joe will own the house. He will pay the original $175,000 plus more than $163,000 in interest over that time, meaning his $200,000 house really costs over $360,000. Joe can save money by making extra payments against the loan to get rid of it faster. For example, if he pays off the loan within 15 years, this will cut the amount of interest he pays by $73,000. Mortgages help people purchase a home, but it's important to remember that they're also a type of debt. The faster you pay off your mortgage, the more money you save in interest.